Hey guys, Adam Hart here. This game is winning best soundtrack of the year, or at least it definitely should. It's right up there with Baldur's Gate 3. It's absolutely amazing, one of the standouts in this game. Other standouts being the graphics, the gameplay, the characters, the story. I mean, it's really just everything. It's all around just an amazing game, but what really stands out is how the characters relate to each other, the emotions in the scenes, and how natural the dialogue is between them. It really is shocking, I would say. In not many games I can say that, where the dialogue feels so natural between the characters. And the characters are very likable as well. So here's what my experience was like with the game so far. I haven't beaten the game yet, but I want to tell you guys what you can expect from the game. And I think you guys will really enjoy it if you do decide to pick it up. Now this game is a turn-based game. And while that's not for everyone, I will say that many of us hopped onto Baldur's Gate 3 for the first time and absolutely loved that. And Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the best games I've ever played and is my first turn-based game I've played. So give this a chance, especially if you don't usually play these games. It's generally amazing like Baldur's Gate 3. And here's just more shots of how amazing the graphics are in this game. I just want to show a couple more clips here before I dive into our first battle and going over what that's like. So just look how gorgeous this is. Alright, so let's get into the first battle. So when you approach the enemy, you can hit them before you actually start, and it's called First Strike. It doesn't actually take their health down, but you start with an advantage and you start the fight first. You get the first hit, the first strike. So when you start, you can target their weak spot. There's guns in here, ranged weapons. So that's a good way to start. Then you can either attack or use a skill. You can also use items, as you see. So there's 3 options on the side. If you use a skill, there's a quick time event. If you hit X right when it's on the yellow bit, you can get a perfect attack off on that. When they attack you, you can parry or dodge. And then it goes back to either attacking, using skills, or using items. And there's multiple skills to use as well. So the quick time events, there will be different opinions on that, but I think they're pretty satisfying in this game. Right when you hit it on the yellow bar on the square, that will determine if it's perfect or not. So if you hit it before the yellow bit on the square, when the button goes around the square, then it'll just be a normal attack. That goes for other moves too, like if you want to buff your teammate, you might have to do a quick time event. And you also will notice, guys, something unusual is you have to parry multiple times in the same encounter. So normally in games you just parry once and then the enemy will be stunned and you can attack them. But here there's multiple parries, sometimes going up to 4 I found so far. Now if you look on the right side, there's overcharge. So once you attack the enemy more, eventually that goes up. So as you saw, that went up to 8. When that goes to 10, it buffs one of his skills, which are individualized, and I'll get into their skills later. It basically makes his skills even more powerful based on that overcharge. But that overcharge, I think, is only for him, at least so far in the game it is. Also, I wanted you guys to see this fight because I get all perfect parries on this guy, and that's something super satisfying in this game, are the parries. If you look on the left side, that's your expedition, that's your party. If you look on the bottom right, you have your health, and then you have something called AP, which is under that. That's the blue squares. And what that is it determines if you can use your skills. So, as you saw, even though it was quick, when I open up my skills, I have the option to do different ones, and they all require different amounts of AP. So if it requires 2 AP or 4 AP, that's going to determine how many blocks you consume. If you don't have enough, you can't do that skill. And you may have noticed at the end of that fight, it shows you how many perfect parries you got, how much damage you dealt, and how much damage you received. So I like that screen too. Once you're done, you can get new things like a Picto, which improves your battles, or a weapon upgrade. When you find these flags, you can go into your attributes or skills. Here's a skill tree, which is individualized per character, which I love. So each character has their own skills. And then here's what you can expect for attributes: health, attack power, speed, defense, and critical rate. By the way, I hope you guys are enjoying my rundown of the game and what you can expect of the game. If you guys are enjoying it, drop a like and subscribe for more. Leave a comment as well to help it out. I appreciate it, guys. There's things called Luminas, and there's different things you can equip, like if you dodge, you can gain AP. So that's what that was right there. Now, going around the environment, you can go up ropes. You can fly if you're playing as this character here. You can instantly switch characters instead of having to go back to that character and then run a path you already went down. Just little things like that I like about this game. And if you guys enjoyed this video, like I mentioned a little earlier, please drop a like and comment, helps the video out, subscribe for more, and thanks for watching. And I want you guys to hear the emotion in this last scene here.
I'm here.